got a bit of a start here on the front suspension. So I didn't shoot everything just because it's the same as most of the stuff I do. And if you want to see how I make these templates, I'm actually going to put a video up just of that shortly, so I don't have to keep showing you how I make templates in every video. Anyways, so I'm making the front member that goes across from screw to screw, attaches to the two struts, and then to my two top links, which is going to make my 4-link setup that I've dreamed up here. So this is the template I made out of 1/4" MDF. So yeah, I just marked it all out. Kind of mimicked the rear of the machine, but made it a little bit lighter weight. The forces that are going to be on this member that I'm making here are going to be mainly trying to pull it apart and push it together, and then the force will also be directed backwards into those links, but most of the force is lateral, so there's not going to be a lot of bend this way in it, because the front of this is going to be floating. It's going to be free in this direction. So give you an idea what it's going to look like. I've already actually cut out the steel for this and started grinding it, so I'll show you where I'm at now. So also on this template here, I've also drilled small holes where I'm going to have my struts mount, and those are all precisely marked out on the template. I transfer that hole through onto the steel while this is clamped down, while I'm plasma cutting it. So this is actually 2 pieces here, and I've clamped them together, and that's how I finish ground them, and that ensures that they're both exactly the same. And also I drilled these holes straight through both of them while they're clamped, so I know that this part and relative to these holes is the same on both sides and on both plates. So I can actually unclamp them now. This will be the first time, but got about 2-3 hours, possibly 4 hours put into this already. So I've now come up with these. I have 2 identical, or semi-identical I should say, redneck identical parts here, and I'm going to separate those like so, and I'm going to box them in almost completely and leave space here for the struts to enter and to be bolted up. I did screw up one thing already that I'm going to have to redo on my strut mounts. I welded a solid piece in here. Well, it really needs to be a swivel joint, or at least some kind of rubber mount, because this member is going to flex a little bit, and I can't have a rigid joint there because it's going to probably bend the shock. But anyways, now I'm going to start squaring all this up and plating this all in and getting some mounts on the bottoms to attach the bearings to. I've got these little pre-made bushings that I've actually bought a while ago, and I'm going to use these to square everything up. They have a machined end on both ends, and they're just under 2 inches wide, which is about exactly how far I want those spaced apart. So I'm going to clamp these all up in there and get everything centered. Alright, well I have the front member in place here. Just roughly bolted it in, and it's looking pretty good. So I've got plate on the top and the bottom. It's not all finished welded yet as usual, but just in case I need to make some changes. I also welded some plates on the ends here that the bearings can bolt up to. I think it's got a pretty good look. What I was talking about earlier, I didn't put swivels on the ends of these shocks, so it's not going to allow this to flex in and out as it's going to have to when the top links are moving. So I'm going to have to cut that off and redo that, but definitely a step in the right direction. Before I get into attaching these two top links, which are going to basically go in here, there'll be one on that side, one on that side. I need to do some work in the center frame area. So that'll be my next focus. This isn't strong enough to connect the links to, so I need to basically build a bulkhead area in here with some strong plate, redo the rear mount here, and get this all working first before I bother attaching to there. So that'll be the next phase. Anyways, a little bit of progress. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think.